When you think of Kansas sports, you think basketball. Bill Self has done an incredible job of continuing the legacy of Jayhawks basketball and continuing to keep that program a blue blood as they are continuously in the NCAA tournament, the Final Four, and have recently won a couple national championships, and they're always very competitive. Kansas football is an afterthought. They historically have not seen much success, and they have not been very good. But over the last few seasons, there's been a resurgence of Kansas football. Kansas has become more and more competitive in Big 12 play, and had a huge season in 2023 after pulling off a major upset against Oklahoma, and on top of that, won a bowl game for the first time in years. Kansas football is back. Left tackle Dominick Puni is a very enticing prospect who has shown some elite upside and a player who is a very good athlete. How high could he ultimately go in the 2024 NFL Draft? That is what we will be discussing in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and leave a comment and let me know which players you guys want to see me touch on in the next video. And without further ado, let's get into it. Puni is an interesting story, in terms of a guy who has played in a number of different places. In 2022, Puni played 848 offensive snaps, and he was extremely productive. He allowed 7 hurries, 1 hit, and 0 sacks on the season, playing at left guard. After the season, Kansas decided to move him over to the left tackle, where he had yet another pretty good season. In 745 offensive snaps, he allowed 8 hurries with no hits and no sacks on the year for the Jayhawks, and after a solid week at Mobile in the Senior Bowl, he's starting to see his name higher and higher on people's big boards. Puni has solid size all the way around. He weighed in at 6'4", 323 pounds in Mobile, and he has some solid size. He has the size to play the tackle position, but I also think he could translate well to guard at the next level also. I love the athleticism that Puni has. He moves extremely well in both the pass and the run game. He had the quickness to get to the second level, and he landed some powerful blocks, but on top of that, he had the foot speed to match up with some quicker pass rushers. He moved well, and I like to see that from him. He also plays with a solid anchor and solid balance, which is another really positive thing about him. He has a strong lower body, and he wasn't pushed back by a lot of pass rushers, which was very nice to see from him. When he latches onto the defender, he is very hard to move, and he takes complete control of the rep. Puni is going to be a guard at the next level. At the Senior Bowl, he took a lot of snaps at guard, and he even played some center. But he just is a bit raw to play the tackle position in my opinion. For one thing, he did have the tendency to allow some plays on his outside shoulder, which at the tackle position is the one thing that you are not allowed to do. He also played with high pads on the outside, and his hand placement was a little choppy. I think his size translates better to guard in the NFL. I could see him being a potential swing tackle who is a guard who can go out to play tackle on occasions, but I think we look at how he's played at guard before and the way they had him at the Senior Bowl, I think he's going to be a guard at the NFL level. I think Puni could also improve on his run blocking angles. He had the tendency to overextend and had some missing assignments in the second level, and I think that he can definitely improve on that. He has a lot of athletic tools to really like, but has some minor issues that I definitely think could improve with him. Puni is a very versatile offensive lineman, who I think could play all 5 positions, which is going to push him up boards. They had him taking center snaps in the Senior Bowl. I think he has a lot of upside. He is my number 13 offensive tackle in the draft and my number 7 interior offensive lineman in the class. He has a lot of upside, and I love the versatility he brings to the table. He ranks number 83 in the draft class for me. I think Dominick Puni should play a left guard in a pass-heavy offense. He's been extremely productive in the pass game over the last few seasons and hasn't allowed a sack in 2 years. He has the quickness, the balance, the anchor, and the athleticism to be a really good guard at the next level. I think he could be a very solid asset in a pass-heavy offense. My comparison for Puni is Atlanta Falcons guard Matthew Bergeron. Bergeron is a very similar story, as he played tackle quite a bit at Syracuse, but his size and his playstyle translated better to the interior at the NFL level. He still runs that swing tackle role for the Falcons, where if they have an injury to one of their tackles, he can swing out and play that role, but they have almost identical size. They're both really good athletes, and I think both of their games translate better to guard at the NFL level. They both can bring a lot to the table on the offensive line in terms of versatility, where you can piece them on the offensive line, and I love that about both of these players. Dominick Puni is probably a guard at the next level. He has been dominant where he has played, and he is a very, very fun prospect to watch. I think he's going to be a very good player if he falls into the right system and if teams can use him the right way. And I believe Dominick Puni will be a top 75 pick in the 2024 NFL Draft.